can see the journalism in there, you can see the film in there, you can see the editing in there, you can see the traveling in there, you can see the technology in there, the speed, the fact that we make media, because I'm obsessed with sort of the sociological impact of media on us and what we do. And in that kind of environment, versus the one I showed you at the first ad agency that I started in, it's an incredibly exciting place to be. The thing is that there are a lot of people that are ready to do it. And I think that's where you become incredibly important. You know, I've been spending a lot of time since moving from the great big network agency into my little one big room studio where we all sit in the same open concept. In fact, most of them sit at my desk half the time. Nobody is over, I think we took a poll yesterday, the oldest person was 27. And as I brainstorm and I concept with these kids, I realize that their idea of what creative is completely different than the one that I was raised understanding in advertising. They spend hours concepting millions of one-off ideas and hooks for consumers, games, applications, films, widgets, Facebook apps. They talk more about the value of the application than they do about the story. You know, the brief is the needs of the person that's getting their creation, because they all have this very enlightened view of doing things that are good for society. Their concept of what an idea is reshaped constantly, and therefore so is mine. And it isn't a comment on, oh, I mean, we need more of you young kids. It's a comment really on what attention and attraction is in the market. And the fact is that you understand what attention and attraction are in the market. You're all many entrepreneurs. You're excited by the business ramifications of what you're doing as much as you are by tech or design or writing. You know, every creative that I meet now has a new business, an IP they're going to get into, a funding that they're trying to get. They are actually changing the world. They're whip smart and they're aggressive. And they remind me a little bit of the Wall Street kids, you know, relentless and fast. There's this saying about stockbrokers and traders that the gentlemen become stockbrokers and the street kids become traders. And I think it's a trader's world right now. And I think that this industry really is yours to take over if you're willing to give yourself some space, try a lot of things, figure out what your talent is, work very hard, and apply yourself to creating a new version of what you see in front of you. You know, the thing is that it's an amazing business and it's atomized. You can be an entrepreneur, you can be a designer, you can be a social theorist, you can be an analyst, you can be a day trader, you can be a writer, you can be a technologist. But the situation that you are going to go into is not going to be a hierarchical industry where people path you along and try and figure out how they can make you better. You will find a mentor, you will hang on to them, you will listen to what they tell you, you will reach sideways and help other people. You'll pull people into your projects because there's very little in this advertising world that you can do alone. And I think that it's very exciting. You know, this really is my advice to everyone who ever asks me how to move along and progress in advertising. I think that if you find out what your talent is, then your career will find you. I think that you want to be in a position that when an interviewer asks you at one point, you know, where do you see yourself professionally in the next 10 years? You should be able to say, satisfied. I see myself satisfied with what I've chosen to do with my life. I have a huge respect for young creatives, the really new ones that come integrated and social right out of the box. You know, when I'm recruiting people, I look for freshness, ideas, confidence, a certain twisted perspective on the world. I look for people who are terriers with an idea, who won't let go until an idea is made. And I think when you consider career in advertising, which I really hope you do, those are the things that you should remember. And I'm going to end here.